So my voice is a little raw. So I'm here to talk to you about this today. My animation might be screwed up, so I might actually get some extra time. So why? So it seems like an easy question. People contemplate on an ongoing basis. Why do you do this? Why do you do that? What is the reason you're doing anything that, and in any particular, why do you work at the job you work at? So one of the questions today, why are you here today? We heard a lot of people on what their answers were. You know, their three answers for things like mine, getting stuff done, doing those things. We have a lot of things that are going on in our communities that we need to work at. As I say here, we're not short on problems. We have so many things going on in our communities that need to be fixed. And really, we're all in a position to do them. And so a lot of these topics, and like, what are those issues? What are these things? So like one thing, homelessness. What causes that? What are these things that happen to these? You know, alcoholism, drug addiction, just losing your job. All these different things are problems that we can address and look at on an ongoing basis. Climate change. I used a volcano eruption that happened in Europe. One of the things that came out of this is they actually did a study of this. The carbon footprint of that volcano was less than the actual air traffic that would have flown that were grounded by that. So it was a carbon neutral volcano. That's what it said. So then we have crime. We all, I mean, Kevin just talked about it. Crime statistics, crime things happening. You know, what is it causing in our community? What are the things that we need to do to help our community, to help police make better decisions? Education. Our education system is broken. How are we going to educate children to do jobs that are 15 years ago with a system that was invented hundreds of years ago? You know, what do we do to fix those things? How do we address those things? Immigration. In Colorado, it's a huge issue. In a lot of states, it's a huge issue. It's an issue that is going on and on and on of how do we deal with illegal immigration? How do we deal with other immigration? And finally, the economy. Everybody here, especially those working in city government or in federal government or state government, knows the economy is not helping your budget. It's not. We are in a bad time right now. So we all have real issues. We all have a particular issue that drives us to do something. And we call these things our purpose, our mission. But it's also our why. It's the reason why we're doing something. It's the reason why we want to get things done. There's a man named Simon Sinek, and he wrote a book called Starting with Why. Oops. This is where my animation gets screwed up. And one of the things he talks about is this idea of why people do it. And it's not just a result, it's a purpose. And so he says in this is that for companies, it's people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. That's why people love Apple, because they have a higher purpose. So two people you can look at as models of this are JFK and Martin Luther King. They had a purpose that was larger than just a why. They had a result in mind, but they had a bigger issue for them that they were looking at. And so for Martin Luther King, that was racial inequality. That was his issue. That was the thing that he wanted to make better, to get rid of the hundreds of years of injustice that his community faced. But his purpose was this, that the country would live up to its creed of every person is equal and self-sufficient. That was his purpose, his higher goal. That was why he was driving this mission. JFK made his famous speech, "We will go to the moon." It was also about leadership in space, how we would drive innovation, drive things forward, because we knew that we wanted to be the first there, because we wanted to be a leader and drive that decision. But why did we do it? Why did we choose to go to the moon? Well, we chose to go to the moon because it was going to drive innovation, because it was a hard task. It was because it was something that was going to challenge our communities to develop a lot of different things. This is why he chose to do that. So both of these leaders had a result in mind. JFK's going to the moon, Martin Luther King ending racial segregation. But they also had a higher purpose, a why. That why inspired other people to go out and do things to achieve that result. A famous man named Viktor Frankl, in a speech he gave about man searching for his meaning, said this: if you take a man as he should be, you make him capable of becoming what he can be. So our task is to take society as it should be and make it capable of becoming what it can be. So our goal is to do that. That's why we're here today. That should be your purpose today. But why you're here today is to look at those things. And the thing is, these two did it, and so can you. So thank you much. So thank you to Quest, and I believe we have Citizen Lobbyist and Warren Cooksey.